Good afternoon, everybody. This is Josh here with SNE Weather. I am going to update on potential snow late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, may even go into the day on Sunday. Let's before we go any further, let's just get into the models. And here is our storm system right here. This is the European computer model showing the system not really getting together on the surface maps, at least if the surface model runs, not getting together until it passes by us. We'll have to see what happens with that. I'll slow it down just a tad, and you can see it starts coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, coming up to the East Coast area, and then really starts getting wound up. Let's see. Right here, just far south and east of the benchmark that you would normally want, which is right in this area here. So pretty much I would say the benchmark is right in that area. So right in here is where you're going to want a storm system to start getting together. Actually, getting a 994 low out that far, you really want to see this actually start happening more like here, and then just move it up. And this is not moving that way, at least not on the surface maps. You can see that it's doesn't look like it just. It's kind of interesting to see that there is a low pressure center right here, and then you can see it moves eastward, and then you don't see it really starting to develop to south of Nova Scotia. So I would say these models do not have this down yet for Saturday night into Sunday. And another thing you can see too is that tomorrow you've got some rain moving in the afternoon, going into the evening, and then it appears that there is some dry air that does come in on the northern side of this, and you can just see it just doesn't come up. It doesn't really get its act together until, like I said, south of Nova Scotia. Well, let's take a look at the GFS real quick. And here we go with the GFS. Similar situation. You can see that, the first batch comes through on Friday, and then you got this other low. But here's the interesting thing, is the GFS shows low pressure being out here, the upper low, and it moves forward, and right, 1 second, I gotta change it. All right, and sorry about that. That was the midnight run. This is the noon run, and you can see it does show a weak low pressure center out here in the Ohio Valley. And then you're going to see it move across and comes closer to Nova Scotia, which is an interesting scenario. And you can see it actually shows right here it being a 996 millibar low just south of us. And that, a low pressure in that placement is going to be there'll be too much warm air on Saturday into Sunday for any snow whatsoever. But if it's going to 989, and this is something else I want you to see too, it's down here, you got some nice thunderstorms starting to develop. So that would tell me this storm is strengthening. Now, it is possible that some of the snow does get back, and we end up getting more snow than what this model is actually depicting. And another interesting thing to note too is a low pressure developing here at 993, which is very similar to what the European model was suggesting as well. And then you can see 983 millibar low pressure, but this is way south of what the Euro was suggesting. So you got a 983 here, and you got a 979 here. So one of the interesting things about seeing something like this is, would this low pressure, and this is the question, the $1 million question right here, have enough energy, and I would say at 993 and strengthening, You know, obviously it's going to have enough energy to pull all that moisture up. But will there be enough energy between these two lows to pull back the moisture even further? You know, that's an excellent question. And I don't think these models have this storm down because, look, you got one, two, three low pressure systems. So these surface maps to me are going to be a little unreliable. And you can see they all consolidate into that 949 bomb in the North Atlantic, which was being suggested originally to be over here. So just think about a couple of weeks ago, we had a 949 here. Excuse me, right out here, and it's all the way out here now. I mean, such a great contrast of distances. You know, so it's kind of hard. That's why I always say, like, we'll have to watch and see what happens because it's highly unlikely 949 would happen. And GFS always amplifies things more than what they up here. All right, so let's take a look at the 500 millibar level, try to get an idea of what this storm is going to do. You can see here that we have, you know, we got a little bit of the trough coming in here, and we got another trough. Both are in positive form, so definitely going to get some southwestern flow out of this. If we move it forward, you know, we got this piece of energy here moving in, and we still got this still in a positive flow. But so this would definitely be the southern, and this would be the northern branch of the jet stream. Move it just a little bit further, and you can start, see, this is the end. Whoops. Let's go back, sorry. This is the interesting scenario right here. You got this area, this low pressure here, and this down here consolidating into one storm. And if you move it forward, and you could see that this trough is deepening. And then the other thing too is now it's more in a flow like this than it being in a flow like this, or even a flow like that, trying to get a flow on the backside like that. So the flow right now is kind of like this. It's coming down here, but it's coming up here too. So it's still in a positive form, and I'm very interested to see what happens if this thing ends up being stronger than the surface maps are showing. Because you got two low pressures, you got two jet streams coming together, the southern and the northern branch. And you can see as it moves right here. Now look at the difference. Look, ready? We are positive right here. This is at, let's see, this is on Saturday night at 18Z. So figure that's going to be about right around 9 o'clock at night, we'll say, into the evening hours of Saturday night. Move it up one, and this is like early morning on Sunday. And you can still see that it's positive, but you can see right here during the day on Sunday, it's practically almost neutral, which means you're getting flow here, but you're still getting flow coming around like this. It's still not where you want it to be to get backside snow. Move it up, and bam, right there. That's what you want to see. This is what you kind of want to see a little bit. You see, yeah, this is positive. You're starting to see a little bit of negativeness and a little bit more neutral right there. And move it up one more. And it starts sliding away. And that definitely, from what I see here, is wrong button. Is definitely showing some negative tilt there. let's look at, let's take a look at the velocity on a map here. And, you know, you can see it pretty well here. You can see it actually really well. You can see there's a low pressure here, low pressure here. Move it forward, and you can see that they do consolidate. Now, this is the interesting scenario here, because when I see a feature like this and a feature like this, that tells me that this storm is developing. I did it again. This storm is beginning on developing some backside snow. Because if you look here, you can see it's pretty consolidated. Not really, I shouldn't say consolidated. You can see, like, you know, it's a positive flow, low pressures here. I would say if there was backside snow, it's probably going to be in this band here right now. By looking at that. And you look at it and you can see that it's starting to get that look to it, where it's coming around here and it's coming around here. And that's something you do want to see. And there's also another feature that I see, and I'm very interested to see what happens if the low pressure center is right here, and if this is a band of intense snow beginning to form. But it also depends on how much cold air gets in play into this storm system. I'm looking at this. When I see a feature like this is telling me it's getting the colder air coming in. And then you see this feature here coming up. You can kind of see where the low pressure is most likely going to be looking at this map. A little further, and you can see it really winding up now. Especially when you start seeing the lights in there, that would be like your really intense snows. It all depends on what this does. You know, is this gonna come further? Is it gonna go a little more negative? We're only a few days out, so we'll have to wait and see. But I do think that there could be a period of snow Saturday night. Let's see, what's this? Sunday, sometime on Sunday, could see a little bit of backside snow on this. But the thing it needs the most is moisture. And you know, I really don't see a lot of moisture getting inside that. And I will say though, if moisture can get inside that band right there, you know, back it up, I would say that there's a chance for a period of heavy snow. I couldn't even tell you how much. Like I said, like it's really difficult to say. Now, one thing that I would like to see this connected like this, coming up like kind of like that almost. And I don't really see that here, and it's just gonna, like, how much moisture can we get in there? Well, let's take a look at the GFS. And you see the GFS here as I move it forward. GFS is, GFS, I will say, is going negative a little sooner. That's got a little bit of a negative tilt right there in the jet. Move it forward, and that is pretty much it right there. So the interesting thing that I find right now is what the difference is in the storm track between the Euro and the GFS. Because you look at this is the GFS, right? Now let's go back to the Euro. There's the Euro. Let's move now. Let's see. We are at our 66. So we are currently right now at our 66. All right. So let's go and look at the GFS at hour 66. All right, so here we are, hour 66. I hate that. Let's try that again. There we go. So hour 66, Yarrow, GFS, Yarrow, GFS. Pretty much in agreement on location. So let's move it up one. Let's go to hour 72. Yarrow, right there, GFS, Yarrow, GFS, not big, not too much of a big difference. GFS, move it up one, Yarrow, GFS, Yarrow. It's not too big of a difference. But if we look at the surface maps, you know, here's the Yarrow. You know, it's showing everything still pretty far back. So compare this surface map to its upper air. I would say that this low pressure is going to be somewhere in that general area, especially seeing this bright grayish white color there, which is a sign of intensification. Now, if we look at the surface map again, we can see that low pressure at hour 72 that the upper air map shows possibly being further back. I mean, it's got it almost close south of Nova Scotia. But if we, like I said, if we look at the upper air map again, I'd say low pressure is right here. I think low pressure would be there. And you know, that other surface map has it like way out here. I don't, like I said, I just don't think these models have it down yet. So we'll have to wait and see, continuing on what is going to happen with this storm system. So let's take a look. Now, this is the EPS suggestion of snowfall by Monday morning, and maybe a dusting to an inch. That's what this is showing. These models do not have whatever's going to happen on Saturday into Sunday locked down yet. We'll have to wait and see, but the upper air maps tell me there's a chance for a little bit of snow, possibly at the end of the storm. But I'll be updating this on the coming days, all the way up until Saturday night. But right now, this is what I see. And, you know, once the NAM and other models get into range, I will be eventually taking, you know, showing those models as well. I hope everybody has a wonderful New Year, and I pray and hope that all your Christmas vacations and Christmas parties went well, and I hope everyone has a blessed New Year. Have a great day. My next post will be probably tomorrow evening. After I get home from work, I'll be taking a look at the models, and then I will begin posting. Everybody have a great day.